Objections are a test of certainty. This phrase holds a powerful truth, especially in the realms of sales, negotiation, and communication. When we hear an objection, whether it's a hesitation, a doubt, or a direct refusal, it's easy to interpret it as a barrier or even a confrontation. But what if, instead, we viewed objections as opportunities, as natural checkpoints in the journey towards trust, understanding, and agreement? To truly understand why objections are a test of certainty, we must first explore the nature of certainty itself, the psychology of decision-making, and the role objections play in human interaction. Certainty, at its core, is the feeling of assurance that a choice, fact, or belief is correct. In any decision-making process, certainty acts as the anchor. When people are certain, they move forward confidently. When they are uncertain, they hesitate, question, and, yes, object. This is not a sign of weakness or hostility. Rather, it is an expression of vulnerability, a request for reassurance, and a vital part of coming to a confident conclusion. Let's imagine a scenario. Someone is considering a significant purchase, such as a new car. They've done their research, compared models, and narrowed down their options. When they're finally sitting across from the salesperson, they might say, "I'm not sure if this is the right time, or is this model really reliable?" On the surface, these are objections, but at their heart, they are expressions of uncertainty, a test to see if the certainty they seek can be provided. In these moments, objection fulfills several key psychological functions. First, they allow the objector to externalize their doubts, making their internal hesitations visible and concrete. This is essential because once a concern is voiced, it can be addressed. Second, objection invite dialogue. They are an implicit request for more information, for reassurance, or for validation. Third, and perhaps most importantly, objections test the conviction and confidence of the person presenting the idea, product, or argument. This is where the phrase, "objections are a test of certainty," becomes so powerful. When someone raises an objection, they are, in effect, asking, "Are you certain? Do you truly believe in what you're saying? Can you withstand scrutiny and answer my doubts with clarity and conviction?" The way these questions are answered can make all the difference between agreement and rejection. Consider a different context, one not rooted in sales, but in any persuasive conversation. Perhaps a leader is presenting a new strategy to their team. When a team member voices a concern, "I'm not sure this approach will work given our resources," it's tempting for the leader to feel defensive or frustrated. But if the leader sees this objection as a test of certainty, they can respond not with irritation, but with confidence and understanding. They can revisit the reasons behind the strategy, present evidence, and demonstrate their belief in the plan's success. In doing so, they transform doubt into dialogue and hesitation into alignment. The ability to handle objections, then, is inseparable from the ability to project certainty. But what does it mean to project certainty? It's not about arrogance or stubbornness. It's about a calm assurance that comes from preparation, experience, and genuine belief. People are remarkably sensitive to the subtleties of confidence. The words we choose, the tone we use, the body language we display, all of these communicate our level of certainty. When someone objects, they are listening as much to how we respond as to what we say. There are, of course, different kinds of objections. Some are logical, requests for more information, clarification, or evidence. Others are emotional, rooted in fear, past experience, or personal preference. Both types are valid, and both test certainty in different ways. Logical objections challenge us to provide facts, data, and rational arguments. Emotional objections require empathy, patience, and the ability to connect on a human level. Skilled communicators learn to welcome objection rather than avoid them. They know that objections are not obstacles, they are signposts. Each objection is a clue, a window into the other person's mind. By surfacing objections, we gain the opportunity to address hidden concerns, correct misunderstandings, and reinforce the strengths of our position. In fact, the absence of objections can sometimes be a warning sign, a signal that the other party is disengaged, uninterested, or unwilling to voice their true thoughts. Let's return to our earlier example of the car buyer. Suppose the buyer raises a concern about maintenance costs. The salesperson has two choices: dismiss the objection or address it with certainty. A dismissive response, "Don't worry about that, it's not a big deal," erodes trust and increases uncertainty. But a confident, informed response, "That's a great question." In fact, this model is known for its low maintenance costs, and here are some testimonials from customers who have found it very affordable over time. Builds trust and moves the conversation forward. This principle extends beyond individual conversations. In fields like law, medicine, and engineering, professionals are constantly tested by objections from clients, peers, and even themselves. The ability to respond to these objections with certainty, grounded in knowledge, experience, and ethical responsibility, is what separates experts from amateurs. Objections also play a crucial role in our internal dialogue. Every day we make decisions, set goals, and pursue ambitions. Along the way, we encounter our own objections: self-doubt, fear of failure, the voice that asks, "Are you sure this is the right path?" These internal objections are perhaps the most important tests of certainty we will ever face. Our ability to acknowledge them, examine them honestly, and answer them with conviction determines whether we move forward or stay stuck. So how can we strengthen our certainty and become better at handling objections, whether from others or from within? There are several key strategies. First, preparation is essential. Certainty is not a product of wishful thinking. It is built on a foundation of knowledge and experience. The more we know about our subject, the more confidently we can respond to challenges. Preparation allows us to anticipate objections before they arise and have thoughtful, credible responses ready. Second, empathy is vital. Certainty does not mean ignoring the feelings and perspectives of others. In fact, the most persuasive responses to objections are those that acknowledge the other person's concerns and demonstrate genuine understanding. By listening carefully, asking questions, and validating the other person's point of view, we show that our certainty is not rigid, but responsive. Third, authenticity matters. People can sense when certainty is feigned or forced. True certainty is not about having all the answers, but about being honest, transparent, and willing to say, "I don't know, but I'll find out." This kind of authenticity builds trust and invites continued engagement. Fourth, practice makes a difference. The more we engage with objection, the more comfortable we become with them. Over time, we learn to see objections not as threats, but as normal and even necessary parts of the process. We develop resilience and adaptability, and our certainty grows stronger. Finally, reflection is key. After any interaction where objections were raised, take time to reflect. What objections came up? How did you respond? What worked well and what could be improved? This process of continual learning ensures that our certainty is not static, but evolving. Objections are a test of certainty in every facet of life. They are the natural companions of progress, the checkpoints on the road to agreement, and the catalysts for deeper understanding. When we encounter objections, we are being asked, sometimes explicitly, sometimes implicitly, to demonstrate our conviction, to clarify our reasoning, and to show that we truly believe in what we are saying. Instead of fearing objections, we can learn to welcome them. Each objection is an opportunity to educate, to empathize, to persuade, and to grow. By approaching objections with preparation, empathy, authenticity, and reflection, we not only increase our own certainty, but we help others find theirs as well. The next time you hear an objection, whether in a sales conversation, a team meeting, a negotiation, or your own mind, pause for a moment. Recognize it for what it is. Not a roadblock, but a test of certainty. And remember that by rising to that test with confidence, clarity, and compassion, you can transform objections from obstacles into stepping stones on the path to trust, agreement, and success. In the end, certainty is rarely absolute. It is constructed moment by moment through dialogue, evidence, and shared understanding. Objections are not just tests, they are invitations. Invitations to deepen our knowledge, to strengthen our conviction, and to earn the trust of those we seek to influence. By embracing objections as a natural and valuable part of any conversation, we unlock the power to move beyond doubt and towards meaningful, lasting agreement. So, the next time someone objects, smile inwardly. Recognize the moment for what it is, a chance to demonstrate your certainty, to connect more deeply, and to move one step closer to the outcome you desire. In this way, objections become not the end of the conversation, but the beginning of true understanding and trust.